Mattie McGrath.
Good, last Corona. Look, I don't know. This is like a Russian roulette. I mean, the last 15 months have been a horrible time. And I listened to Deputy Howell and other speakers who I bow to always and listen to his experience and vast experience in this legislation, in this House doing legislation. This is ham-fisted, Minister. It's a shambles. You now have been foisted into justice. Whether you look for it or sought it, I don't know, as well as your other portfolio. And we wish Helen McEntee and her family the best. Sorry? Okay, that's fine. I don't mean that literally, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know well what I'm trying to say. But, I mean, it's been extraordinary. I said today elsewhere when I left the cabinet room, I think Deputy Owen may have been there, or it was maybe Deputy Kelly, at the first meeting we were called in when this happened, and I literally staggered out of the room with the fear and the predictions from NEFIT. And thank God they didn't materialise. And thanks to our HSE staff and our people, frontline staff that worked in it. But every prediction that NEFIT have made have been like doomsday, and they have been proved utterly wrong. Utterly false and fake and wrong. And this one bit all out this week that he came up with, that it can be the latitude in the middle of 10 times, multiplier by of 10, that the worst case scenario is 7,500 cases, and the best scenario, most optimistic scenario, I think they worded it as at 800. My goodness, there's a whole ocean in between. The whole length from Manonhead down to Miscellaneous to Manonhead. So what are they playing? They're playing so safe, belt and braces, but they have the nobblers on your cabinet, and your Taoiseach, and your government, and it's good enough for you because you handed it over to them. And so did your leader first, your Taoiseach Radcliffe, now Taoiseach Madden, have handed the handlebars of power to an unelected cabal. An unelected cabal. And now they have another cabal behind them, NIAC. And they'll probably think it's some other one else when they're trying to cover their tracks. And they call it up as some other name, another acronym. And my goodness, I don't know. This legislation we're talking about here is needed because the Gardaí, who I salute and support all my life I support and salute, but the Garda Síochána, but they have been put in invidious situations. Imagine being put out. The county council were given grants, and my own daughter was a councillor, and many others were helping business to get grants to put out parking spaces, take away parking spaces, give eating outdoor spaces, little grants for seating and elsewhere. And yet, the Gardaí were supposed to turn the blind eye to it or whatever, or winking and nod. Thought those days were gone. You had no legislation, so you're fumbling and mumbling and stumbling and meandering from crisis to crisis. You haven't a clue what you're at. And it's a shame you're supposed to be legislators. So here we are this evening, legislating now after the fact. After the fact, trying to close the door when the horse hasn't bolted. He's on the race course, gone around 5 times, he's ready to go off the race. And maybe jump a few jumps, but you're jumping to whatever NEFIT tells you. However say hi, they say, you'd say yes, and can we go higher, raise the bar. This legislation then, to make it better, you throw in the middle of it a point, I think, going from 37 to 43 judges, ordinary judges we're told. So I don't know what the extraordinary judges are. These are supposed to be ordinary judges. I thought that most of them were meant to be ordinary, of the people and by the people in our democracy. I think this is scandalous that you would include that bit of legislation to appoint extra judges in the middle of a so-called a pandemic. I call it, that's April 12 months, and to throw this into the middle of it then, appoint judges. No doubt they'll be thoroughly well vetted, and they'll have good blood genes in Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, and now the Greens will have one, I'm sure, too. And no disrespect to any of them. I hope they do a good job, but justice isn't being served very well by some of them, as we know. And we saw the charade after Golfgate. And I wish Supreme Court Wolf well now, when he finally was left in. The boys didn't want him for so long, so like we're all in this together, but you don't want you. But now he's in sitting. Thank God. I don't know how the justice has been served by the kind of standoff with the others. And have we the complaints procedure now? Can we now, tomorrow, the 1st of July, make a complaint about a judge? Because it's been held up and delayed and prevaricated against for nearly 2 years since the legislation was brought in here by Shane Ross and passed. Will we be able to make a complaint tomorrow about a miscarriage of justice if we feel there is? And that obviously has to be proven. But if we feel, can we? Is that going to finally open, or will you find some other cloak and dagger way of stifling it and to hell with it? Because justice has not been well served. I speak to your constituent last week whose son is mowed down by a criminal who has several convictions and carried 200 yards on his bicycle and killed Shane in Monaghan. You know who it is. 10 years coming up shortly to the death of his, and no justice for that family. And we have the Oma bombs, no justice for them, what went on there. Besides, you're well, Minister, and I worked with
Thank you, Deputy McGrath.
and I'm just saying we need justice and we need fairness, but this kind of shambolic legislation and putting it through like this
Thank you, Deputy McGrath. Your time is up.
The extremes, a farce.
The next speaker is